So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Today we have the Samsung Galaxy S20 5G unboxing. Now this is the base model. You can see Galaxy S20 5G. This is not the plus, this is the entry level. And this entry level model comes in at $1,000, but you can go ahead and trade in a device and get a substantial discount. So if you're coming from an S8, an S9, an older device, you could get some discount off of this phone. So technically, I think for most, it's probably not going to be $1,000. So let's go ahead and pull this sticker off right here and get into the device. It's just one pull tab right there, and you can see. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. And opening this thing up, you can see right there is the Samsung Galaxy S20. Now, I have already previously unboxed the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and I could tell you this one feels so much more manageable on first impressions. It feels a lot like the Galaxy S8 of a couple years back, and I feel like this is going to be a great seller right here in the smaller S20. So you can see in the box, we do have another super fast charger. And this is that 25 watt edition. If you want the 45 watt, you have to buy that separately. And also, if you guys go ahead and pull this tab right here, Samsung will present you with a SIM card tool on the back to get into your device. And inside here is just going to be some of the warranty information that you can go ahead and read about. I'm not going to get into that. It's just warranty guides and welcome to your Samsung Galaxy S20. Now over here, you also do have a USB-C cord. Now these cords are not that long, so if you're the type of person who needs like a 10-footer, you're probably not going to like this, so you might want to get a third-party accessory if you want something longer. But right here, you do have a pair of USB-C AKG headphones in the box as well. Now personally, I prefer the Galaxy Buds, but for some people, these could be just fine. And it does come with different earbuds in case it doesn't fit your ear properly when you put it in. That's it. That's the box. I really kind of like how Samsung's been putting the logo and the color of the phone you've been getting on their phones lately in big bold letters as well. Anyway, we're done with that. Here is the Galaxy S20 5G in the cloud blue color. So let's go ahead and peel this plastic off the back. That's always satisfying. And I also have the A71 in this blue, a similar blue color, and I just can't help but think these S20s just feel so similar looking to their budget line of devices, which is a great thing for people who are actually into, having a budget device. Samsung is doing really good at making budget phones lately. It's a little bit of a different color from the blue on the A71, but still a very nice color here. Also, you should note that the S20 does have a pre-installed screen protector as well, USB-C at the bottom, and a speaker grill right there, antenna slits on both sides. At the top is that hole punch for the camera. On the left side, there is nothing on the S20. On the right side, Samsung did place the volume marker and power button in the same place. There's no more Bixby key, so that's a nice touch as well. And you can see the camera bump's not quite as big as the one on the S20 Ultra. And you can see at the top, there is a SIM card tray for micro SD card expansion and a microphone hole right there. There's a slight curve on this phone, but it's nowhere near as aggressive as previous S-series devices. So what that means is it feels like a little bit more like a flat display. So let's get this thing set up. 3, 2, 1. This is a 6.2 inch 1440p panel. So you're gonna have higher resolution than the other models because it's giving you the same amount of resolution on a smaller panel. Now this is actually around the size of like a Galaxy S9 Plus, but it doesn't really feel like a plus size phone. This feels more in line with a smaller device. Not super small, just a more manageable size. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip through the setup process as it's pretty much the same as it's always been. You just sign into the Google account, you sign into the Samsung account, and you're in the phone. And we are now in the device of the Galaxy S20 5G. First impressions are, I really like how there's minimal bezel, yet the size of this phone feels pretty compact. Again, not tiny phone, but it feels very narrow, kind of side to side. It feels lightweight, and it feels like you have an all screen and a manageable body. I think a lot of people are going to love this one. And not only that, it's the cheapest of the bunch. Also, if we go into display settings here, you can see this one also is going to give you that 120 hertz refresh rate if you want to use it, which will make this feel a lot smoother than Samsung's of before. This is going to be an excellent upgrade for those of you who have a Galaxy S8 or even an S9 potentially. So in About Phone, you could see Android version 10 right here. It's also coupled with the One UI 2.1, so smoother gestures, a few more touch-ups over the original One UI, but it's more refined. And Samsung already pushed out the March update to the Galaxy S20. Now, as I expected, because this is the cloud blue, they are going to default with a blue wallpaper. But let's go ahead and see what kind of wallpapers are on this device by default. Let's see if we get all the same ones from the S20 Ultra, and it looks like we do. We got pretty much the same wallpapers from the Ultra. You can go ahead and download more, but pretty nice little bunch of wallpapers here for the S20. So taking a closer look at this camera, you can tell it's a lot smaller. This is going to be a lot less obtrusive than the Galaxy S20 Ultra's camera. However, this is not the 108 megapixel monster that camera is. This one is a 12 megapixel camera plus a 64 megapixel telephoto camera plus another 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. And then on the front, and of course I can do a really high resolution 8K video. And so on the front here, you do have a 10 megapixel camera that can go up to 4K at 60 FPS video recording. That's a nice touch for the S20. And so here's the difference here. You can see between the Ultra, look at the bump, the camera bump, it's huge versus the one on the S20. And it's not going to give you like substantially more in the camera department. Yeah, it does give you the 108 megapixel, but seriously, this is going to be a great triple camera on the S20 as well in a much more manageable size at a cheaper price point. So you are getting a lot here on the S20, not quite as much as the Ultra, but still, you know, it's nowhere near the price either. So let's take a look at the storage that comes in the box. I did go with the 128 gig model, and out of the box, there's 103.8 gigabytes available that'll quickly fill up with applications, but not totally fill up. You can put an SD card in here for the photos and videos so you don't use all your internal storage up. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the camera on the Samsung Galaxy S20. Let's go to more, and you can see we still have our Pro video modes here as well, so Pro camera modes as well, live focus. A lot of similar features are going to be on this phone as this S20 Ultra right here. So if you decide to save yourself some money, you're not really going to get a bad camera whatsoever. You can even go up to 30x zoom, which is still plenty enough. Way more than a lot of other phones on this phone right here. So the S20 is quite a bargain compared to the Ultra. If we go into the settings right here and we go to the rear video size, you can see 8K video, and we can also go up to 4K at 60 on the rear. I just love that Samsung didn't really cripple this in the camera department, besides, you know, giving you less than 108 megapixels, but most people don't need that. So I really like that even if you get the S20, you're not really making a lot of sacrifice here. Now, one thing about the Galaxy S20 5G, however, is that this one has a 4,000 milliamp hour battery, but hold on, you know, 4,000 is the same size in the Galaxy Note 9, which we all know had excellent battery life. So I expect this to have pretty good battery life. We'll see how it does in the real world, however. Of course, you do have wireless power sharing and wireless charging on here. So this is a flagship tier device for certain. One thing you may miss though is Samsung's decision to remove that headphone jack. And yes, I know Bluetooth headphones can be found very cheap. Most of you already have them, but still, you know, some people out there really bought these devices just because they had headphone jacks. It might be a niche crowd, but the S10 still had it. And also, there's no heart rate monitor on this phone anymore. That used to be something that was on the S10 as well. So you're losing out on that. That was on the S8 and S9 as well. So that's no longer here. You kind of have to use a Samsung watch now if you want to do your heart rate accurately. And I'm going to go ahead and do some speed tests on this one as well, comparing it to things like iPhone 11. So stick around for that. Go ahead and subscribe for that. Let me know your thoughts on this one. What do you want to see on the Galaxy S20? And if you got one, please go ahead and share some of your initial thoughts with this one. What's striking about this phone is that it reminds me a lot of the size of the regular Galaxy S8 that came out a couple years, but because the bezels have been stretched down, it's got a bigger display. And so here's the Galaxy S8, and take a look at this. These are almost the same size phones. They feel very similar in the hand, yet you're getting more display. So like I say, if you got an S8, this is going to be a fantastic update for you, and similar goes for the S9. And so that's it for me on this first impressions. First impressions, I like the size of this one. This is the one if you want the comfortable size. This is the one if you want the best price. This is the one if you want the lightest weight of the bunch. This is the one I think a lot of consumers are going to buy, honestly, if I was to be straight up honest with you. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want to see on this phone going forward. I will catch you all in the next episode. Be sure to be well, and peace.